So again, the problem is that we have these two types of fetishism. First, the open fundamentalist, fetishist, disavowal fundamentalist, which is, let's say, anti-Semitism, but even there, the mechanism is much more refined than it may appear. Let me give you a provocative statement to make it clear what I want to say. Let's say, now please, play a bad guy a little bit. Let's say you are a Nazi, a totally neutral description. Let's say you are anti-Semitic Nazi. Let's say that we debate anti-Semitism. I try to convince you. I tell you, listen, but can't you see Jews are not so bad or whatever, no? And then we start to debate how Jews real are. I claim the moment we start to debate in this sense, I, as a good liberal, you are the bad guy, I already sold my soul to the devil. Why? Because the moment I accept this debate, the result is always reality is mixed, like, and I shocked some American friends when I claimed this, but it's like you will say, I will say, why do you claim Jews are financially exploiting us? Where, let's be open, probably some Jews were very rich in Germany and were, in this sense, exploiting Germans. So you would be able to claim, wait a minute, maybe I exaggerate a little bit, but you cannot say it's totally not true. Or another standard topic of German Nazi anti-Semitism was that the Jews control our media. You will be able to say, which is true. 70% of the journalists were Jews. So what can I say? You will say Jews are seducing our German women. Well, I hope they did, how should I put it? Among others, not only. You know what I mean? The moment you accept the debate at the level of facts, now I'm the bad guy again, you are absolved of being a Jew. I confuse the terrain. Why? Because when you here see the Nazi anti-Semitic image of a Jew, the true question is not, are Jews really like that? That's not the question. The question is, why does Nazism need this figure of the Jew to function, to sustain its ideological edifice, independently of true or not? I follow here Jacques Lacan, who proposed a wonderful formula, crazy. He said, it's a little bit male chauvinist, that's why I don't like it, but it's a wonderful formula. The formula is that even if, let's say a husband is jealous, with a suspicion that his wife is sleeping around with other men, even if all his suspicions are factually true, his jealousy is still a pathological fact. Why? Because the truth problem is not is it true, but why did he need this pathological fixation on jealousy to sustain its psychic stability? It may be one theory, a little bit too naive, I think. Psychoanalytic is suppressed homosexuality. This is the standard, I think, Freudian reading of jealousy. No? Let's say I am jealous at my wife sleeping with you, but sorry to be again personal, don't take it as a direct advance, but my true reproach is, why did you choose her and not me? How should I put it? You know what I mean? That is displaced homosexual jealousy, no? So why did you choose her instead of me? Okay, so later. Sorry. So let's go on. In this sense, you get my point. This is the problem of anti-Semitism. So then, to shock some of my American friends, I went to the end and said, God forbid it's not true. But even if almost all, there are things which are madness, open madness, like this idea, here you can see another lesson. How delicate category of belief is today, as we saw in the case of Niels Bohr and all. To believe in something you should always be careful at what level do we believe, what does it mean to believe. For example, recently a friend sent me from Brazil an incredible book. The book about Japanese community at the end of the World War II in Brazil. You know what happened there? There were about, I think, 300,000 of them, Japanese in Brazil in 1945, and the defeat of Japan was such a shock for them, that around half of them, even a little bit more, simply denied it. This couldn't have happened. And they claimed that in reality, Japan won, and that United States are just propagating this news around the world to avoid a scandal. They even, I have the reproductions, this is madness, in 1946 they fabricated a special issue of Life magazine with the cover photo of General MacArthur kneeling down beneath the Japanese emperor, admitting defeat and so on. Now, what is so mysterious here? Obviously, they were fanatically convinced of superiority of Japan, but at the same time, at some level, they must have known that it is a lie because they fabricated it. You see the absolute, the ambiguity of belief. And I claim it's the same with anti-Semitism. One should be very precise how it functions. Because, you know, from socialism, I remember from Poland, a wonderful cynical joke referring to, you know, this old communist claim that socialist society unites, is a synthesis of all that was best in the past history, no? And the joke goes like this: yes, our socialism is the synthesis of all the greatest achievements of the past. From pre-class society, it took primitivity. From ancient Greek society, it took slavery. From feudal society, it took brutal domination. From capitalism, it took exploitation. And now comes the pearl. From socialism, it took the name. I think exactly the same, I hope you got the point, holds for anti-Semitism. From the anti-Semitic figure of the Jew, from rich bankers, it took exploitation. From, I don't know, amusement industry, it took this stupid commercial culture, and so on and so on. And from Jews, it took the name. That is to say, that's how what we call in psychoanalytic theory, Lacanian theory, the master signifier functions. It's a name which, in a way, creates the thing by masking the inconsistency of references. How do I make this? Let me take you another example. You are too young, but maybe you saw it on DVD, that Spielberg classic, his first mega hit, Jaws. You know, about a shark, the killing, no? Okay. Now, of course, the naive, false question is, what does the shark stand for? The shark killing people there, what does it symbolize? And there were many leftist analyses which perceived it as a rightist symbol, like shark stands for third world immigrants, the danger of nature, whatever. But you can also give it the opposite reading. Do you know that Fidel Castro is a great admirer